Great to be at Phoenix. Good weather. Yeah, I mean, just still early. You know, it's too early to tell about anything. Probably these 2 days will still be early to tell, but you know, good so far. Steady. Really having fun working with Brian. You know, and even having Eric Bretsman there has been a good addition as well. So you know, so far so good. It's been fun.
And speaking of team changes, joining us this season at Andretti Autosport is Takuma Sato. Takuma, talk about that transition to the team and your general impressions of your experience with the team so far.
Very happy day. I think, like Marco said, it's a very early day, but jumping in the car, immediately feel comfortable. Having said that, you know, had been off in the car over 5 months, and over 5 months obviously felt long, but then it's a transition for the team. A lot learned. You know, meet the people. Went to the shop and to go through a lot of stuff with engineers and etc. etc. So it's like one click and then now jump in the car. So I was sort of a happy place. And then obviously those strong 3 other teammates helped me out really well for the first session. The car is there already, and we went to the very low profile start with, and I really need to build up the confidence because I didn't have a very good memory in here last year. So, but the car worked really well, and happy where I am today, and I'm excited about the season.
Alexander, you were here just last week talking about the new renovation project that's coming here to Phoenix Raceway, and we mentioned while we were there that this was your first oval here in the Verizon IndyCar Series. Now that you're on track again for this open test, how valuable is that time leading up to the ovals coming up for the 2017 season?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, every time on track, you're always learning. But yeah, it's a much different experience for me now, this February, than it was last February, no doubt. So I kind of knew a little bit what to expect and wasn't as worried last night, if you will. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, the team is obviously we have a big challenge in front of us this year to kind of redeem ourselves, and I think that, you know, the atmosphere is good, and we'll keep working away each day and try and deliver.
Joined also by Ryan Hunter-Reay. Ryan, obviously everybody just got on track for the first time. Very much a first day of school type of atmosphere. What are these tests like when you come to them and you see everybody, you're with everybody on track to preview the season?
Yeah, it's you know, it's just nice to get back to work. Really, this is what we do. You know, this is how we operate. This is how we operate mentally. And being away from the racetrack, you kind of feel like a fish out of water. So it's nice to be back, and just be back into it. Be back into the rhythm. I wish we were here for you know, a race weekend or something, just so you can be in it more. The test is going to fly by, but we have 4 cars. We're going to work together as we always do at Andretti Autosport. We're going to put together the best race car, come back with it, and hopefully make for an interesting race when we come back for the Phoenix race weekend.
We'll open up for questions, starting with Bruce and then Michael.
Alex, it's pretty close to the 1-year anniversary where you signed your deal to run an IndyCar. Have you ever given yourself a chance to sit back and reflect on what that year has been like for you?
Not really. All y'all kept me so busy during the off season, but it's been a super positive experience for these 12 months, and you know, I feel like I found a new home here, and I'm very happy to continue that, and you know, be a part of this organization, this team, and go to work with these 3 guys next to me.
Michael?
Hi, Michael Knight with the Arizona Republic. Ryan, I'll start with you. I'll give Alexander a pass on this question because he and I talked about this when he was here for the PIR announcement here last week. We all remember what every bad thing, luck-wise, that could happen to you in this race last year happened. But in the spirit of trying to build this event in this market, there was a lot of talk after the race last year about it was hard to pass, the groove was narrow, maybe too much downforce. But the talk, not necessarily from you, but in general, was that it was the first year back, we can do better. With the aero kit freeze and so forth, are you confident that the showbiz value of the race will be significantly better than last year?
Our first objective as a series, but mostly as drivers, is to make a better show for the fans. It's better for us. It's more fun for us. When it's more entertaining for you, it's fun for us. And we wanted to do something. You know, when we have a race last year where it takes 30 laps to pass a car, it becomes frustrating. And we know that that's not what the fans have come here and want to see. even though in the car it's extremely difficult and you have to think every move out. I'm not really sure yet where that's going to pan out, and what the change is. You know, it's an aero freeze year, so we're kind of in between a development year and we're going to come back with a universal kit, basically, where everybody's on the same kit, and that may be a different race entirely. So I can't really say to that yet. We're going to go out there. We're going to run together tonight, tomorrow, and we'll have a better idea. But we came back here testing some aero stuff. I can't really say there's a silver bullet at the moment that's been implemented.
Okay. Alexander and I talked about this last week. If Marco or Takuma would comment about if you think the more competitive race this time around, second time around, or hard to tell. Takuma.
Sorry. I think it's hard to tell. Like Ryan described, I mean, the air freeze. Fundamentally, we were nowhere to go compared to the last year. Obviously, as a Honda package, this time around last year, it was just introduced the second generation of the road course package, so we had a lot learn. And then since then, obviously, the engine package was obviously getting stronger, you know, throughout the season. So having said that, so does competitors. And we really don't know how it's going to show up, and we will see this afternoon or night session how it's going to be. But I predict it will be extremely difficult to pass it again, and I don't see there is a big change from last year if the league decided to do the rule as it is.
Marco, any reason to think the groove might widen out, or there might be more opportunities this time around in April than last year?
I'd like to think so. We're going to work on it. We've been pushing it. That's for sure. And all I can say is the only thing that I think can help is just closing the holes up on the bottom of the floor. But that's just me. I think other than that, I mean, it's just going to be tough to say how it's going to play out. Like I said, it's still early even here. So who knows if the manufacturers have made gains, since last year here. I'm sure they have, both of them. So we'll see when it's all when everybody's turned up. We'll see.
Firestone is bringing back a slightly different tire, which could affect the racing. But yeah, sometimes they're the most powerful player in that game as well. So
for sure, Ryan, do you know that?
it is. Yeah, it's a different tire, but we don't know what that's going to do to the racing yet.
Thank you.
Well, we'll bring you all four back in tomorrow after the night session tonight, so you can tell us if the night session proved any differently. How about that? Joey?
Joey Barnes, Motorsports Tribune. Taku, this is your first chance to really have a blend of teammates with this much success and this much veteran leadership. So just how beneficial is that for you, and how enjoyable is that for you coming into the season?
It is for sure beneficial. We have seen that in years and years. Andretti Autosport is working extremely competitive throughout the season because of the driver lineup and the way they operate the team. Now, obviously, I could see that why they could do that, and it's a very sophisticated engineering program, and all the drivers share the data, which we haven't done it yet. We just finished up the session 15 minutes ago, so I really haven't seen any data of the next to the three drivers. But okay, but I think it will be fun. It will be fun to enjoy, to work with together, and to make the team move forward. And that's all our objective. At the end of the day, it's reflecting yourself. So I think this is a great opportunity to me to working this foundation and organization. I'm extremely excited about it.
And Marco, coming to you, we're seeing you smile for the first time in a long time. I know it's only been one session, but just talk about how important it is to just have Brian in your ear and just how much you're enjoying working with him.
Oh, Brian, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, I just think it's a good change-up. I think, one thing about my dad and I is we're both very loud on the radio, and that's just how we always operated, and we're fine operating like that, but sometimes people around us aren't, and Brian is very good at keeping me focused on the 27, and that's how can we maximize the 27, and then it's very easy to be like, oh, Penske went this fast, or oh, this, and it's we need to focus on what we can do to go faster, because not the elements we can't control, and I think that's a good addition to a good mindset change anyway for us. Thanks.
Ray, did you have a question? No. Patrick, and then Tony?
Well, just to follow up a little bit on that, Ryan, do you take anything from this timesheet at all? I mean, I know being towards the front's better than being last, but did you take anything out of this at all?
No, it's funny. I was walking back from the first from this first session back to the transporter, and I'm thinking, man, you know, I've been around for a little while, done this for a while, and I know better than to get excited about first session times. It's a long ways to go. When we come back, the picture will change. And really, like Marco was talking about, what you have to do is you just focus on your own car. This is like you're here by yourself testing and your teammates. And we're just going to operate in our own little bubble and not really worried about where anybody else is, because people are on different trim levels. People are up and down on engine power. People are getting tows. Some aren't. Everybody's on a different program, tire life, the whole thing, you name it. So we're just going to stay on our end and focus on it and try and, like I said, try and bring back the best race car that we can.
Patrick?
Would you prefer it to be hotter for this test?
We would prefer it to be a little bit hotter because it would be more resemblant of what we're going to come back and do. But, you know, this is nice. So not really complaining.
Tony?
Alexander, for you, having Jeremy as an engineer, obviously he's new, but he had a lot of success on the short ovals last year. How excited are you to have him for here and I guess the rest of the season?
Well, I'm pretty excited about Iowa. I think we all are to kind of have that bit of information. But no, Jeremy's been awesome from day one of working with him at the one Sebring test we did. We were kind of up to speed with each other right away, and we've done some work in Indy together. So I mean, it's been pretty seamless transition, and you know, we're still kind of trying to learn each other's likes and dislikes. You know, but it's the first session and it wasn't terrible. So it's been super positive. Having Rob Edwards as strategist on the radio is also fantastic. If Brian's going to go to Marco, I think Rob's the best replacement in the world. So you know, I'm really happy with the team that I have right now, and hopefully we can you know, continue to move forward and develop ourselves.
Bruce?
One for Takuma and one for Ryan. When you arrived at Andretti Autosport, what was the biggest thing that struck you? What was the biggest eye-opener? Because it is, you know, one of the big teams in the series. You worked with a couple of teams that were smaller in nature in your career in IndyCar, but what's it like? What was the first impressions like when you came to Andretti? Then I have a
Formula One.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected. You know, it's nothing really surprised me. Like these two talk about. You know, I've been in a big team in a Formula One world. 600 people was working on the one factory. So you imagine that compared to that, IndyCar is more like really tight families. But you know, it's been. I was in Texas for a long time, and it was a very nice, you know, warm team. But in terms of number of the people working, it's extremely narrow and small numbers. Now, of course, went to Andretti not only for the IndyCar program, but you know, working with the Indy Lights program, the all others all together, like close to 100 people working. So it's difficult to remember the name who you're working with. So passing the people, say hello, but it's just so difficult to remember right now. But it just feels good. You know, the very strong engineering. That's what the matter. And all the boys is the same. Boys have been boys all the time. It's every mechanic is fantastic. So I'm happy to working with a big team.
And Ryan, when you have a driver that's been on another team that you've raced hard against, and maybe a time or two have come together, and then now all of a sudden,
No.
Yeah.
When?
Pocono, and then you know, now that he's a teammate, I mean, at one point or another, you're going to probably work with most everybody that you've raced against. What's it like to have Takuma as a teammate now?
Takuma has so much experience. You know, he knows what he wants from a car. He's one of the fastest guys out there. And, you know, with those two combined, you know, we're looking forward to adding him to our mix, to our debriefs, to our, you know, to our development and our progression. So I think he's a great add, and, you know, a big part of the Honda family as well. It's good. I think we're gonna work well together. I think all of us work well together. That's like I keep saying at Andretti Autosport, we do work as one big group, and communication is number one. So we're going to continue down that way.
David?
Guys, you were referring to the tow around here. How much do you gain in terms of tow when you then play it off against how much you're losing behind someone in the turn in terms of washing up?
I mean, you lose more in 1 and 2 as far as, you know, losing the front in traffic. But then, yeah, the tow, as soon as you get out of one and the car's straight, you want to see somebody ahead of you all the way through, all the way until you enter again. So I'd say just turn one is not good, but everywhere else is good.
But if you get like a 2 or 3 second toe, and when you're on newer tires, you can just keep going. It could be worth what? What do you guys think? 2/10? 3/10? Yeah, something like that.